Welcome. So today's lesson is passing strings to functions in C. Strings are not special. They are just like a data type, which is our character. And then we can put that into an array, where that array pretty much contains a bunch of characters that we'll be working with. So today we just want to redo, we've done this lesson before, but we want to redo it and call it passing strings to functions. All right. So let me just verify that we took the right language. Yes, the language is C, and we can then start working on our project. So I'll just be explaining each aspect as we go about it and how the program or the project was. So for reference purposes, you can go to the previous project that I had that had this within it. So let's actually put our variable. Our first variable is of type character, and the character is str. We put square brackets and then say is equal to. We had actually called it neighbors. So NEIGHBOURS. We put an exclamation mark, we put a semicolon, and then we want a printf. With our printf, we want to get the value of str is, and then we put a percentage %s to get our string. We put a new line, and then we put a comma, and then we put str. We put a semicolon. And then we want to be able to get a function. And then our function should be able to return our string. So, so that the function makes sense, I think we start making the function first. And our function will be as follows. We want get. Since it doesn't exist, it will give us an error like that, but we need to actually make our get string, where our get string would be as follows. So it's void get string, which we had actually put there, and we had not actually declared it. So it would most probably give us a runtime error. But since I'm actually redoing this program, I'm just gonna try and do it a bit faster and explain as we also work with our get string. So our get string in this particular instance, we want to actually say void get string like we've put up here, but our get string then have our character and our str, meaning we want to point to our str that already exists. And then we want to then give a response. So we want to printf, and with our printf, we want to state the following. We want to say at this particular point, access to main function and the moment we access main function, we want to then print whatever our str is. So put a printf, And our printf should then give us the value of str. So our string components is, we then put our percentage %s, we put a new line, and then we get our str so that it gets the string that we've put. We also put the following: int length is equal to strlen, and then we put str so that we get the string length. And then we also put a printf, and our printf should give us the following: the length of the string. That's what we want to get. So we want string length is, we put a colon, put a percentage %d so that we get the string length. And I think we can end there because we don't want to put too much. And then outside of that, we want to get the actual length. So put length. And then that gives us our string length. Although now we need to add a header file, which would be hash includes string .h, and then we close brackets. So this then concludes our code. Our get string, we also need to put our str so that we know what each element is supposed to do. Maybe we can put a comment here to show that access to main function, and here we put another comment as well, and we say access to get string function. Okay, so let's just test our code and see if we've done everything well. If we have, we should be able to get a result as our code states. So the value of our string is neighbors. This is access to the main function. Our string component is neighbors, and the string length is 11. So in this particular instance, we've done it well, and we've managed to do what our code does. So before I end, let me just explain the code. We are simply saying the moment we get to this section here, we are creating a variable called str, and we initialize str to neighbors. We get the value of str, which is neighbors, which is what we print here. And then we get into our function and we pass the variable type str to our string, whereby our string, or where this function gives us the output of the string. So we're actually passing the string to here. Maybe here we're actually supposed to change this and say this is actually access to get string function, because this is a get string function, and in our get string function we can be able to see what it does. So let's just see, after putting that change, we should be able to at least differentiate between the main and the get string function, whereby at least with the output that we've got there, we can be able to see our result. Perfect. So our value of str is neighbors, access to get string function. Our string component is neighbors, and our string length is 11. So that being said, we are done with our lecture.